Hey team, it's the middle of the night. I just got done editing an episode for the anime podcast that I do. There will be a link in the description for that, but I noticed that Elden Ring patch notes version 1.3, 1.03, sorry, just came out, and I figured I'd make a quick video, not overly produced or anything like that, but just to let everybody know what the changes are, and we can find out together if we got nerfed or buffed. So let's get into it.
Crushing Defeat Media.
All right, patch notes 1.03. This affects all systems. I think that's pretty obvious. And in order to continue playing the game online, you will need to add this patch or download this patch or apply this patch, right? Added a function to record an icon and the name of an NPC on the map when you encounter that NPC. So that's kind of cool. So as you're following NPCs around, they're going from place to place. I'll meet you here. I'll meet you here. And you can now mark on the map with their name where you found them, which is pretty cool. They added a NPC, Jar Bairn. I don't know what quest they'll be involved in, but that sounds exciting. Added new quest phases for the following NPCs: Dialos, Nephili, Kenneth, and Gatekeeper Gostok. Ginstock. The one I'm interested in is that Dialos, because I remember talking to him in the lakes, and I feel like he should have been doing something, and he should have had a quest for us to go on. He seemed very distraught, but yet didn't want to do anything, so hopefully now he will. Added some summonable NPCs in multiple situations, so that's good. There'll be more situations where you can summon NPCs. Increase the number of patterns of objects players can imitate when using Mimic's Veil, which is cool. The only thing I've done is a box so far. Added night background music in some areas, which will be nice. Bugs fixed. Fix a bug that prevented some NPCs from taking damage in some boss battles. So if that happened to you, that will be definitely a lost benefit, but a fair fix. Fixed a bug that sometimes prevented the player from obtaining items after a boss battle. That's good. Fixed a bug that caused dialogue to be skipped when talking to NPCs and using custom key configurations. So what that means is not that you can't skip dialogue anymore, but that there was a bug that was causing it to be skipped. Fixed a bug that caused player to freeze while riding the horse, Torrent. Fixed a bug that causes arcane to scale incorrectly for some weapons. Now, they don't say if that is on the good side or the bad side, but they fixed some scaling regarding weapons and the arcane stat. In situations where the player cannot obtain more than 2 talisman pouches, added talisman pouch to Twin Maiden Husk's shop lineup. So that's exciting. Fixed a bug that prevented the user from warping to sites of grace from the map at the end of the game. I'm not at the end of the game, so I'm glad that is fixed for when I get there. Fixed a bug that prevented the player from moving to the next area after the battle with the fire giant. Fixed a bug which causes some weapons to have incorrect scaling after strengthening. Fixed a bug which causes some weapons to not use stat scaling at all. So that's good. Fixed hangups in certain occasions. Great. Fixed a bug which fixed a bug which incorrectly displays multiplayer area boundary when playing online. Fixed a bug that allows player to activate Erdtree Great Shield's weapon skill without absorbing an attack using a special combination of item and incantation. I have no idea what any of that one meant, but if it affected you, you probably do. Fixed a bug which causes Fire's Deadly Sin incantation to have a different effect. Maybe it turned you into a frog, or a frog prince or princess. I don't know, not an incantation I used, but whatever that different effect was, it has been fixed. Fixed a bug with the Ash of War Determination and Royal Knight's Resolve, where the damage buff will also apply to other weapons without that skill. So that's been fixed. Adjusted the visual effect of Unseen Form Spell. So Unseen Form Spell is going to look different. Deleted the Ragged Armor set from the game, which was mistakenly obtainable in previous patch. So that armor's gone. Fixed a bug that causes some hostile NPCs to drop Furrow Calling Finger Remedy. So apparently you weren't supposed to get that. Fixed a bug that causes incorrect sound effect to play in some situations. So you would expect you swing your sword, you expect to hear a and instead you hear a so that's been fixed. It's a dumb joke. Fixed a bug which causes visual animation and hitboxes not to be displayed correctly on some maps. So visual animation and hitboxes not displayed correctly on some maps. That'll be fixed. Fixed bugs which causes incorrect visual and behavior for some enemies. So if you noticed enemies doing this, maybe they won't do that so much anymore. But I have a feeling with the Elden Ring AI that they will still be just sometimes standing in the corner staring at the wall, which I love, because then I just come up behind him and oh, it's so good. The AI is so, the game is hard, so it kind of covers for the bad AI. This is a terrible video. Where am I? Oh, fixed a bug that causes incorrect stat parameter for some armor, which is good. Incorrect stat parameter for some armor has been fixed. Fixed some text that was showing incorrectly, and other performance improvements and bugs. So if you've been having performance issues, hopefully this will resolve and not make them worse. I have not, so hopefully it doesn't introduce them. All right, this is what everyone, all 4 people who watch this video have come for. The balance changes. Increased the drop rate of smithing stones for some enemies. Very good. Added smithing stone to some early game shop lineup. So some of the early game merchants that you come across will have smithing stones. Very good. Increased shield's effectiveness. I hope this means you won't get knocked back as easy, because I like playing with a shield, and I swear every time I get hit, I get a knockback. The shield, it's like worthless. I still carry it around because I'm stupid. But hopefully this will fix it so that the shield can actually take a hit or two. All right. Increase the damage for all offensive cracked pot items, which is amazing, because I would use the fire ones, and I made this fire crack pot, and I don't care. And I'm like, all right. And it go, and the damage will go like, beep. So hopefully that has been adjusted, and the cracked pots will actually become useful, because so far in the game, they have not been. Increase the damage for the following items: Spark, Aromatic, and Poison Spray Mist. Those 2 things, damage has been increased. Good thing. Increase the effect duration for the following items: Uplifting Aromatic and Iron Jar Aromatic, which is good because I've just got into the perfuming thing. So hopefully this will be helpful. If you don't know what I'm talking about, then you just haven't gotten that far in the game yet. Not far enough. You've gotten as far as you are supposed to be, young woman or man. But you'll get there. You'll get further there. Whatever. Increased HP healing for Torrent when using the following items: Roa Raisin, Sweet Raisin, and Frozen Raisin, which is sweet, because I would have to feed. I do heal the horse. If you don't heal the horse, I recommend healing the horse and feeding the horse raisins when it gets damaged, because you'll spend a lot less time on the ground because the horse gets taken out. And it can also save you flasks, because if the horse gets taken out too much or gets taken out in a boss battle, you have to use a flask to get the horse back up. So heal the horse, feed the raisins. And this is a big positive, because I would have to feed 3 raisins just to handle 1 hit, because it'd be like, brit, 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 and then finally after 3 it would fill back up. So that to me is a big win. Reduced FP consumption and increase the damage of the following sorceries: Glintstone Comet Shard, Comet and Night Comet. A couple of those I have. That is exciting. Increase the damage of the following sorceries: Gravity Well, Collapsing Stars, and Crystal Barrage. I always wondered why that one felt real weak. Like it looks like, whoa, that's going to be sweet. And it's not. So hopefully now it is. Decreased FP consumption for the following sorceries: Star Shower, Rock Blaster, Gavel of Haima, Founding Rain of Stars, Stars of Ruin, Great Blade Phalanx, Magic Downpour, Loretta's Great Bow. That's sweet. That's one that I use. Loretta's Mastery, Kyrian Great Sword, which I'm beyond using that, but it's a really good sword. The actual sword is a really good sword. Kyrian Piercer and Shard Spiral. Raised projectile speed and range of Great Glintstone Shard. That's cool. Decreased Ash of War, Hoarfrosts, Stomps. I can't even say this. Decreased Ash of War, Hoarfrost, Stomps, damage, and increased cast time. From what I understand, that was OP. Not one I used, but I had heard that that was OP, so I'm not surprised that got nerfed. Increased Ash of War, Bloody Slashes, self-inflict damage, while slightly lowering the damage and increasing the cast time. So if you're using that Bloody Slash and taking the health hit, it'd actually be a worse hit, which means to me that is not one I will be using anymore. Because taking your own health away is risky business. Decreased weapon skill, Sword of Night and Flames damage. That is one that will affect me, and hopefully not too many of you, but probably a lot of you out there playing. That is a sweet sword. I love that sword. Hopefully it's not too much of a nerf, but if you're like me and you are mainly using the Sword of Night and Flame and you love those two abilities it has, and you thought the trade-off by how OP it was that you had to level up seemingly disparate skills to get it, then it was apparently too overpowered in general, and now it's been nerfed. So that is super bummer. All right, moving on from my depression. Increased FP consumption and lower duration of Ash of War Barricade Shield. Changed FP consumption timing of Ash of War Prelate's Charge. Decreased the damage of Spirit summoned when using the item Mimic Tier Ash and change the Spirit's behavior pattern. Decrease the damage of Spirit summoned when using the item Mimic Tier Ash and change the Spirit's behavior pattern. So it sounds like that got a bit of a nerf. Other enemy and weapon balance changes. So that's a catch-all for the things that they didn't want to tell you, or probably were more likely were just minor changes. And then the version number is going to go up to 1.03, and online play requires the player to apply this update. So hopefully you weren't nerfed too bad, and maybe you actually got some benefit from this patch, especially if you're having performance trouble. Hopefully you found it helpful and you don't have to go through and read the patch notes yourself. That's all I got. Thanks, team. We'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.